Dear friends, it is my honor and also my pleasure to welcome you to our program for the Day of the Covenant. My name is Nicholas, and I am a member of the Baha'i community. The Baha'i faith is a world religion whose purpose is to unite all the peoples, races, and religions into one universal cause and one common faith. Baha'u'llah teaches that such a union is the true remedy for the trials and difficulties the world faces today. Baha'is are followers of Baha'u'llah, whom we believe is the promised one foretold in the sacred scriptures of the past, and the messenger of God to humanity for this day and age. The name Baha'u'llah, when translated into English, means the glory of God. Baha'u'llah lived through the middle of the 1800s and endured great hardship and suffering for the sake of humanity. His words and actions had a tremendous influence on the hearts and minds of the people he encountered. And such affinity continues on in our time. Along with the many other teachings he espoused, he taught the people about the covenant that exists between God and humankind. Typically, the 26th of November is celebrated as a Baha'i holy day, known as the Day of the Covenant. This is when Baha'is commemorate the appointment by Baha'u'llah of his son Abdu'l-Bahá as his successor and as the center of the covenant. Abdu'l-Bahá is known for the perfect example of his life and character. His name means servant of glory. In the Baha'i faith, the Day of the Covenant has deep significance. It is a remembrance that the faith of Baha'u'llah is and must always remain united. Abdu'l-Bahá stated that when believers make their steps firm in the covenant, the confirmations of Baha'u'llah will encircle them from all sides. He also stated, quote, "It is evident that the axis of the oneness of the world of humanity is the power of the covenant and nothing else." The concept of the covenant is twofold. On the one hand, there is the lesser covenant, and on the other is the greater covenant. The lesser covenant refers to the agreement between Baha'u'llah and his followers that the faith will remain united as long as we turn to the center of the faith for guidance and obedience to its authority. After Baha'u'llah, the center of the faith was Abdu'l-Bahá, and after him, Shoghi Effendi as the guardian and the Universal House of Justice.
I know the guardian used to wake up very early, which I deplored because he didn't get enough sleep and he had such tremendous amount of nervous strain and anxieties and responsibilities. But he would wake up about dawn, and when he had finished seeing the pilgrims and we got home and he had gotten to bed, it may have been, say, 10 o'clock, so we didn't have very much rest. And of course, as the years went by, he had much less rest because the demands on his time were greater, and the expansion of the cause constantly preoccupied Shoghi Effendi.
Regarding the Universal House of Justice, Abdu'l-Bahá has stated, "Whatsoever they decide has the same effect as the text itself." Now we turn to the subject of the Greater Covenant. The Greater Covenant is one of the salient features of the Baha'i teachings. It refers to the pact or agreement that God will continue to send guidance, and in turn, mankind will accept and follow that guidance. That guidance really is for our enlightenment and salvation. God created humanity out of love and manifests that love through this eternal covenant. The manner in which God reveals himself is through the manifestation of God. The manifestation of God is a human being and divine personage with innate knowledge from God, selected to manifest his will and reveal his words to humanity. To respond to the manifestation of God is to respond to the call of God itself. A series of divine messengers have been employed throughout history as manifestations of God who progressively reveal guidance and spur civilization on to new heights, both materially and spiritually. The Baha'i community invites any and all who are willing to explore and learn with them, especially the process of translating that which has been written into practical reality. And so we invite you to this great celebration with much love, greetings, and many thanks. Happy Day of the Covenant.
He took the name Baha'u'llah, meaning glory of God, and his followers became known as Baha'is. In more recent years, as the Baha'i community's numbers have rapidly increased, the pattern of life taught by Baha'u'llah is taking root in virtually every country. Abdu'l-Bahá, Baha'u'llah's son, when asked what is a Baha'i, responded by saying,
"To be a Baha'i simply means to love all the world, to love humanity and try to serve it, to work for universal peace and universal brotherhood."